Hello guys, welcome to our channel Across the River. Today we're going to talk about the process called KuFemba or UkuFemba. This process is an African exorcism. African exorcism. It is very common and it's a healing and a delivery method. So many people do not know about this process. Most hear about the name KuFemba, but they do not know about it, like what is it. So I'm going to try and simplify to explain this process so that you can get to understand and know it. So KuFemba is a process of delivering someone from the evil spirit, from the cases, from the bad luck, from all bad things that might be happening in someone's life. This process is also a healing process to heal someone from different kinds of sicknesses. So it's very good to deal with evil spirits. It also deal with generational cases. So all sorts of bad things. So if you have been trying to get help from different people and still you are still struggling, you are still suffering, you are not satisfied, or you are not getting the real help that you need, this process might be what you need, UkuFemba. So in this process, there are two main players. The first one is what we call Nyamsoro. Nyamsoro is the healer, the leading healer who performs the UkuFemba process. The second one is Nyankwabi. Nyankwabi is the assistant, the person who assists the healer and assists the patient during the process. So Nyankwabi also helps to interpret, like as when the spirit come out, it may speak in a language that the patient may not understand, or the patient might be uneasy. So the assistant will help the patient in every way and help to interpret like what the spirit is saying. There are also people who will be playing the music, the people who will be playing the drums and singing to help in the process. So that is how it goes. And then also there can also be other healers. These healers can be qualified healers or the healers who are still under training. They can take part in the process to assist. So those are the people who are usually present in the process. So this process is usually not a first step in helping someone. It's not the first process. So usually they will use divining bones to determine what is the problem and try to help the patient using the other methods. So if the other methods have failed to heal the patient or to deliver the patient from the evil spirits or the cases, this is when now they switch to the process of UkuFemba, like I said, African exorcism. This process is very effective, so it is trusted, but it happens to be very expensive with some healers. As you can see that it involves many people. It's not only the healer who is present in this process, there are also other people who are helping in. So it's not every healer who can do the UkuFemba process. It's really not every healer. There are specialized healers who can do this. The healers who can do this, sorry about that. The healers who can do this are the healers who have got Ndao spirit, and they have been initiated into the Ndao spirit. They have been initiated and aligned with the Ndao spirit. So a healer who does not have a Ndao spirit cannot perform this process. Yes, the healer might be qualified, might have been initiated, but if that healer does not have a Ndao spirit and is not initiated into the Ndao spirit, so that healer cannot perform this process. It is only performed by a healer who has been initiated into Ndao spirit and aligned with it. So they know how to work with the Ndao spirit and they know the processes. So what happens is when it wants to start, they will prepare the heart where the process will happen. They will cleanse the heart and they will fortify it, but it is usually fortified, as the healer's home must always be fortified. So it usually happens early in the morning. It is done early in the morning, in the early hours of the morning. There are some very few healers who do it in the afternoon and late in the afternoon. But traditionally, it takes place in the morning and a night before. The patient must not eat anything. So the patient is required to fast the whole night, a night before, so that in the morning they are ready for the process to take place. So when it happens, they will burn herbs mixed with incense. The healer will inhale those herbs, will inhale the smoke from those herbs and the incense, and will start to call upon the Ndao spirit. And then the music players, they will start playing the drums, they will start singing. The assistant, Nyankwavi, will be busy doing her assistant job, assisting the healer and the patient. So the leading healer will invoke the Ndao spirit. Even the music players, they will be playing the music that invoke the Ndao spirit, that will appease the Ndao spirit and call upon the Ndao spirit. So the Ndao spirit will be happy when the music is playing. So they don't play any music, they play the music that relates to the Ndao spirit. So when the Ndao spirit comes, the spirit will take over. It will use the healer's body to do the work. So it will seem like the healer is the one who is working, but in reality, it is the Ndao spirit that is working. It is just using the healer's body to perform the work. So they have something that looks like a tail. We usually call it a chobo. It's made of tail of wild animals. So that one can be used to sweep the patient. The patient will be swept with that. And then the Ndao spirit will start to sniff the patient. Will sniff the patient, and that sniffing allows the Ndao spirit or the healer to access all the spirits present in the patient's life. So this process allows the Ndao spirit and the healer to access all the spirits present in the patient's life. So all these spirits, whether bad or good, they will be accessed at that time. Then they will be able to determine which spirits are evil. They will be able to see the bad spirits, the evil spirits that are present in the patient's life. And then they will separate the evil spirits from the good ones. So the evil spirits will be set aside, and then they will be interrogated. They will be questioned of who they are, where do they come from, and what do they want in the patient's life? What are they doing? And who sent them if they are sent? So they will be interrogated in that manner. And then they will answer everything. So if they were sent by someone, or if there is a case that was done in the patient's life, it will be revealed and it will be known. So even the spirit of the person who has done the case on the patient, the spirit of that person will be dragged into the process and will be questioned, and then will be known. The patient will get to know the person who did the case or the bad things to him or her, or caused the sicknesses. They will speak in their own voice, and they will answer all the questions asked, like why they did that, for what reason. So everything will be revealed, everything will be known. So after the spirits have been interrogated, they will be chased away. They will be banished from the patient's life. So this process tends to be very dangerous, because these evil spirits don't just give up easily. They also fight. When they are attacked, they also fight. That is why the healer must know what he is doing, he or she is doing. It must be a qualified healer who has been properly trained and knows the right process and has got the right powers to fight the spirit, to fight and defeat and chase them away, because they will be fighting back. So if the healer is weak or is taking chances, these evil spirits may overcome the healer and kill him or her. So that's why it must not be anyone who tries to do this process. So there are actually very few people who are really qualified and have the abilities to do this. But there are also those who take chances, who claim that they can do this, but they just want to rob people of their money. So if you go to someone wanting to do this process of KuFemba, make sure that the person is rightfully qualified, is initiated with the Ndao spirit, so that you don't get robbed for nothing and you don't get value for your money. So this process does not only identify the spirits in the patient's body, it also identifies the other foreign objects in the patient's body. The foreign objects that have been put in the patient's body to cause sicknesses, or to cause the cases or the bad luck, or to block the things for the patient's life. So these things will also be identified, and they will also be removed from the patient's body. This process also identifies the evil spirits and the cases at the patient's home, even in the car, if the patient has a car. So that's why this process is very, very effective. So if you have been struggling, trying everything from healer to healer, and you are still not getting help, maybe this is what you need. You may consider this. So finally, when the healer is done chasing away the evil spirits from the patient, Then the spirit continues to sniff around the patient, sniff around the clothing, sniff around where the patient is sitting to identify that there are no spirits that are hiding. Because evil spirits, when they see that they are under attack and they are being chased away, they tend to hide so that they don't get chased away. So this is the final way to make sure that every spirit has been chased away and it did not hide around. So if it is found hiding, it will be dealt with and then it will be chased away. So after delivering the patient from the spirit, the patient will be made to sneeze. That sneezing is the final way of deliverance. So this process, it heals the sicknesses and removes the evil spirit and the foreign objects from the patient's body, from the patient's home, and from the car. So after this, the patient will be presented with the opportunity to talk to his or her ancestors. His or her ancestors will also be there. So they will be summoned, they will be there. So the patient will be given time, will be given the opportunity to ask any question from his or her ancestors, and the ancestors will be answering directly. So it will be a live dialogue between the patient and the ancestors. All the questions that the patient has will ask and the ancestors will answer. And anything that the patient wants to say to the ancestors will say. And anything that the ancestors want to say to the patient, they will say it. So it will be a very good dialogue between the two parties. I think I have summarized the process, the KuFemba process. I think I have mentioned crucial facts that you need to know or that you need to understand this process. So thank you very much for your time. Subscribe to the channel and share the video, like the video, activate the notifications so that you can get more of the videos that we will be sharing. We will be coming up with more lessons to teach you guys. So please subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so that you do not miss out. Thank you very much.